Hi, my name is Kathy Uglow. I work at the Crawford County Conservation District here in Meadville, Pennsylvania. And today I'm going to show you how you can grow your own herb garden at home. And it doesn't matter if it's winter, spring, or summer, you can still do it. So right now I am going to show you a presentation. And here we go. So we start with an introduction to herbs. Make your own herb garden greenhouse activity. First of all, what is an herb? Well, the herbs have been used for thousands of years in many different cultures. They're made from plants. They have many uses, and sometimes we use them to flavor food. Particularly fond of some of the ones that we're going to plant today. Usually you use the leaves or the flowers, and they're very good when freshly picked, but they're also flavorful when dried. So other parts of the plants may be used to make spices, like the seeds, the berries, or even bark can be used in cooking. Herbs have been used for thousands of years because of their special health benefits. They're used around the world. Earliest archaeological evidence of people using herbs have been traced back to prehistoric humans living about 60,000 years ago. Early written records indicate that people used hundreds of herbs to treat stomach aches, rashes, headaches, infections. Ancient Egyptians used them in medicines and cosmetics, also in some of their storytelling and ceremonies. The oldest known herbal text was written in China by the healers in 28 BC. Herbs are referenced in some religious writings, including ancient Greek myths and even in the Christian Bible. Evidence of herb gardens was discovered in archaeological sites from the Middle Ages in Europe. Native American tribes use herbs a lot to treat disease, and they've done this for a long time. They would mix what's called tinctures, which is a mixture of water or alcohol and plants. And they created it by mixing, grinding different kinds of herbs as well as the roots and barks of other plants. So tinctures were used to heal various medical problems. Herbal remedies were used during healing and spiritual ceremonies as a way to restore balance and harmony to the body as well. The plants from which these herbs came were considered to be sacred. So of course European settlers came to the United States more than 500 years ago, and they learned from the Native Americans about healing diseases and injuries with the use of herbal remedies. Today people continue to use herbs as they have for thousands of years. In lesser developed nations around the world, herbs continue to be used as they have for many years. In more developed nations, some of today's modern medicines are actually based on the old herbal remedies that have been scientifically tested and found to be effective treatments. Many popular herbal remedies and treatments are available in pharmacies and at the grocery store. There are also a large amount of different teas and herb shops that sell exclusively natural herb remedies. So today in this project, we're going to plant basil. Basil is one of my favorites. It's often eaten raw in salads and can be added to cooked foods or brewed in teas. It's a favorite in some pasta sauces, which I have to say is probably my favorite use of basil. It's from the mint family, actually, of plants. It has a strong sweet smell, and it also repels most insects, the smell. Basil was used for thousands of years in ceremonies. Catholic, Hindu, Jewish religions, it's thought to have a protective and holy quality to it. So the basil that you're going to plant is an annual plant, and it prefers a rich, moist, well-drained soil, and you want to make sure you water it well. The first leaves are going to emerge a week to 2 weeks after planting, and sometimes it takes a little longer, but usually you'll see those popping up. Fennel is the second kind of herb we're going to plant. It's from the carrot family. It originates in southern Europe. The adult plant has celery-like stalks and feathery fronds that resemble dill. Fennel has been perceived to having many health benefits. It's a great source of vitamin C and B as well as potassium. It's high in fiber and antioxidants, both of which may help prevent cancer. Fennel has been enjoyed for centuries. It's particularly common in Mediterranean cooking. It is versatile and can be eaten raw or cooked. You can also brew it in tea. The fronds may be used, they have a mild licorice flavor and also a mild scent, and when you sprinkle them on food, or the stalks and the bulbs can be eaten raw in salads, or you can roast them with other vegetables. So a little more about fennel. The fennel seed is actually a tiny fruit. It can be dried as a spice, or it can be condensed into an oil. Fennel is sometimes added to mouthwash and toothpaste because it freshens breath. It's found in antacids. It also helps calm stomachs. It's a gardener's favorite because the flowers attract beneficial insects such as bees and butterflies, while that strong licoricey scent repels aphids. So fennel is a perennial plant. It prefers well-drained, rich soil, but it also is noticeably tolerant to drought. So you're going to see that fennel emerge the same as the basil in a week to 2 weeks. The third herb we're going to plant is dill. Dill is a widespread plant native to southeastern Russia, western Africa, and the Mediterranean. It's particularly prominent in Scandinavian and German cuisine. It's been used for centuries to treat illness and sickness. Some people believe it has antibacterial properties. Dill contains substantial amounts of vitamins A and C, calcium, and magnesium. The fronds are often diced up and added to vegetables or in salads or sprinkled on potatoes. You can add to vinegar and use it as a pickling spice. That's one of my favorite, dill pickles. It's tasty when it's mixed into butter or cream cheese as a spread for bread or crackers. Dill seeds are also used in cooking, dried as a spice, and even chewed to freshen your breath. So dill is an annual plant, and it self-seeds, meaning it will drop numerous seeds at the end of its life cycle, and new plants will begin to grow shortly afterwards. This dill is going to emerge probably in a week to 2 weeks as well, just as your other two, the basil and the fennel. Now we're down to our last herb that we're going to plant is cilantro. It was first grown in Greece thousands of years ago, and it's been used in cooking and in perfumes. It was introduced shortly after that in China. Cilantro is now widely used in the Americas as well as India and Thailand, where it's become a cuisine staple. Most people enjoy the fresh, bright taste of cilantro leaves, but to some people it tastes soapy. Research indicates that different ways people feel about the smell and taste of cilantro may actually be inherited and related to our genes. For example, I had an intern who just loves cilantro, as I do, but her mother could not stand it because it had this terrible soapy taste, and it was really interesting how that works and how it can be genetic, that you either like it or you don't like it. Cilantro is eaten fresh, or the seeds from the plant actually can be stored and used in a spice called coriander. The leaves of cilantro are rich in vitamins A, C, and K, and it works as a natural antioxidant. Some people use it as a natural cleaning agent in their houses. Now, cilantro is a self-seeding annual, and it prefers cooler temperatures. It emerges in 3 to 4 weeks after planting. So when you plant your greenhouse, you're going to see those other 3 come up much sooner than the cilantro, but don't give up on it, because I thought something was wrong the last time I planted one, but eventually it did come up and it did very well. Cilantro is sensitive to heat, and it will bolt in high temperatures. It will grow very fast and produce few leaves that are bitter and quickly flowering. Once the plant flowers, the resulting seeds can be dried and stored, so those seeds can be ground up and used as a spice. Now, let's actually plant. What is included if you contact me and you'd like to purchase an herb garden? They're only $3 and you'll get a lot of enjoyment out of them. You can use your herbs and you can plant them any time of year. Right now it's February. The herbs I'm going to show you in this little garden that's sitting on my windowsill at work, I planted in January. Now in the kit, this is what you'll get. A little greenhouse, which is the plastic container, that little plastic applicator tool, the little soil pellet, some instructions and some labels, and some great information about this whole thing that's going to remind you exactly what we talked about today. The first step as you do your herb garden is to take the name stickers, putting one in each corner low on the container, just like it's in the picture. This way when your herbs grow, it doesn't block your view. The next thing you want to do is put the four soil pellets in a container and making sure that the hole on the upper side is on the top. And you're going to add about 1 inch of water, as I'm doing here in the photo. What will happen is you can soak these discs and they will plump up. They will expand into a size that you will be ready to plant your seeds. This only takes like 5-6 minutes, and they will plump up and be about 1 1/4 inches tall. So at that point, you drain the extra water off, and then you use the back end of that spoon straw, not the end that looks like a shovel, and you'll open up that little hole in the top of the soil pellet, just kind of loosen up that soil a little bit. Then you push that down about halfway into the pellet just to make sure that it's good and loose inside. Now you will use the shovel-like end. We can move me out of the way. How about that? And one herb at a time, scoop up about 10 to 15 seeds. You're going to put those into that hole in the center of your soil pellet. And make sure you're putting it into the one that's by the sticker with the name of that particular herb, because it's really easy to get mixed up. Cover the seed gently, pulling some of the soil from the area around the hole using that spoon end of the straw. After you get your seeds all planted, you will add water until you have about 1/4 cup of water in the bottom of your plastic greenhouse. You want to pour this in between the soil pellets, not onto there to wash away those seeds you just planted. The soil pellets will absorb that water over time. So at this point, you snap the lid onto the base. Make sure the lid is snapped shut on each of the 4 corners. A good seal is important so there is a greenhouse effect inside your container. And you can see that. You can see the little droplets of moisture inside this one. That is sitting on the ledge in my office. You place the greenhouse indoors near a warm sunny window. Now the warmer the better. And as I said, you should see that condensation in there, and that's your greenhouse effect working. So you check in about 7 to 10 days, see if your soil is dry. You may even want to check it a little before that. If it's dry, you add a little water to your greenhouse. And I've added water to my greenhouse several times, and there it is right there at the bottom. I took that picture yesterday. This is February. So within 2 to 4 weeks, the herbs will sprout, and as I said, a little bit different times. And there's your list of when they will appear. And as you can see, the cilantro, which is in the upper left, has popped through. So once the sprouts reached the top of the container of the greenhouse, I took the lid off. Now these are ready that I can put into pots. I would be able to plant them outside if the weather were warm, but right now it's not. So I can plant them into pots, and at some point if I want them outside, I can move them. So I'm not going to take the plant out of that soil pellet. I'm going to plant both the plant and the pellet right along with it. So if you'd like to try this activity, it's a fun one, and it's a good one for kids too. If you want an herb greenhouse kit, all you have to do is call me at 814-763-5269, and we are here weekdays, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. Or you can send me an email, and there's my email, Kathy@crawfordconservation.org. You can swing by and pick these up curbside. Each kit is only $3, and that includes every single thing you saw there today. And we are located on German Road in Meadville, PA. So contact me today and get started on this great project.